Alright, boom, Lil Durk. So y'all read the title. I ain't even gonna stall it out. None of that mumbo jumbo. Lil Durk. So Lil Durk murder for hire has been hit with a third suspended indictment, adding two new charges: murder in aid of racketeering and conspiracy to commit stalking. Now, boom. On the previous stream I did, my Twitch is gonna be down below in the description, and you could probably I'm gonna link the video to this, and I'm gonna put the video to the previous video I did. But in the previous video I did, I talked about how the feds they weren't indicting him, or they weren't charging him. They weren't charging Durk, but they were going to use two previous cases as evidence. Now, the two previous cases were the case that he caught with King Von and THF Bezu in 2019 in Atlanta. That case, they were going to use that as evidence to prove that he is capable of the murder for hire, and they were also going to use the 2022 murder of Stephon Mack. Basically, the get back for his brother D thing, they were going to use that. And what happened with that situation is the guy who was allegedly hired to do it, he went to jail. And when he went to jail, he had a TED talk basically with his cellie and told him everything and involved Durk. So everybody's been wondering, why they not charging Durk with it? They got him on the little pab situation. Why they not charging him with this? I suspect that they're just trying to. Well, I was expecting that they weren't even going to mention it until maybe Durk beats the murder for hire or whatever. But now it's being seen that they're mentioning it right now and are also trying to use it as if he's capable of committing a murder for hire. Not charging him, but trying to say that he's capable. Now, this new situation that was posted. According to documents, Lil Durk has been hit with a third suspending indictment in his federal murder for hire case, adding two new charges: murder in aid of racketeering and conspiracy to commit stalking. Prosecutors allege he used OTF as a criminal enterprise to target viral rapper Quando Rondo following the 2020 death of King Von. The case stems from a 2022 Los Angeles shooting that killed Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pab. If convicted on the most serious count, Durk could face life in federal prison. Yeah, man. Durk is in some hot water. They also, because we're supposed to be getting closer to trial. Trial's supposed to be in August. So over time, we're going to see more and more evidence or alleged evidence that the feds have that's coming out. So Lil Durk, as soon as he heard the news about King Von's being killed, alleged text his co-conspirators: "I can't let this slide. Von's death turned me into a different animal," according to the feds. I want to say there's no way that Durk tested that shit. There's no way that happened. And yeah, this sound fake as fuck. They even using the AI picture. This shit fake. Court documents allege that Lil Durk sent a text message to an associate shortly after learning King Von's killing, expressing his anger and refusal to ignore the situation, stating King Von's death changed him into a different person. Highly doubt that Durk said any foolishness like this. And over here is one of the most egregious. I ain't gonna lie, this is crazy. If you don't know, like I said, THF Bezu is one of Durk's co-conspirators in the 2019 case. It was him and King Von. They're Durk's co-conspirators for the 2019 case in Atlanta. And Trap Lord Ross, it looks like it's trying to say, hold up, let me make sure, I kind of skimmed this. I kind of just seen this right now. Trap Lord Ross is making waves claiming THF Zoo is the mysterious co-conspirator 6, referenced in Lil Durk's federal paperwork. Now, that is crazy because THF Bezu can't even defend himself because TH Bezu just recently died within the last few months. So this is a crazy, and TH Bezu is looked at as like 10 toes down real one. So saying that he's cooperating is crazy. But according to Ross and the detailed indictment point to what? According to Ross, details in the indictment point to Zoo being involved in events. Prosecutors say they were connected to alleged plots against Quando Rondo. It's important to note this Ross interpretation of the document, and any federal prosecutor have not publicly identified co-conspirator 6 by name. So what is Ross saying?
Okay, the paperwork just came out saying Lil Durk and individual number 6, co-conspirator 6, all right, and Grant, which is OTF Vonnie, says that those are the guys that organized the hit on Quando Rondo on May 21st, 2021 after he played his first show in Blackshear, Georgia. Just came out saying Lil Durk and individual number 6, co-conspirator 6, all right, and Grant, which is OTF Vonnie, says that those are the guys that organized the hit on Quando Rondo on May 21st, 2021 after he played his first show in Blackshear, Georgia. I've been telling you for a couple of years now that Lil Durk was responsible for that shooting. But co-conspirator number 6, people wondering who that is THF Bezu. Some people saying there's no proof. I'm going to show you the proof. 100% co-conspirator 6 is THF Bezu, and this is why. Because in addition to the attempt on Quando's life in 2021, they also added this 2019 February 5th situation. This was where King Von and Lil Durk caught their attempted murder charges in Atlanta. There were only 4 people there that day. Lil Durk, Banks, you see Banks, King Von, Davon Bennett, they got DB there. Co-conspirator 6, who I think is THF Bezu, but people are saying, how can you be sure that's him? Well, the only other person who was there that day was a guy called AAB Hella Bands, all right? This happened in 2019. And then they tried to kill Quando in 2021, and they saying co-conspirator 6 was in on that. Well, AAB Hella Bands, he got shot and killed on May 14th, 2019, so there ain't no way that he's co-conspirator 6. So that's confirmed it, that THF Bezu was co-conspirator number 6.
Hold up.
Co-conspirator 6.
Hold up. I'm in denial. This can't be accurate. I was just listening to Beat That Body. This can't be accurate. Fuck that.
There were only 4 people there that day. Lil Durk, Banks, you see Banks, King Von, Davon Bennett, they got DB there. Co-conspirator 6, who I think is THF Bezu, but people are saying, how can you be sure that's him? Well, the only other person who was there that day was a guy called AAB Hella Bands, all right? This happened in 2019, and then they tried to kill Quando in 2021, and they saying co-conspirator 6 was in on that. Well, AAB Hella Bands, he got shot and killed on May 14th, 2019, so there ain't no way that he's co-conspirator 6. So that's confirmed it, that THF Bezu was co-conspirator number 6, and he was in on the hit where they first tried to kill Quando Rondo in 2021. But here's what I'm wondering. Why didn't THF Bezu get arrested with Lil Durk and them? If he on paperwork, they saying that he tried to organize a hit, why didn't he get picked up before he passed away? Obviously, rest in peace to Bezu. You know, he's not here, but that's so strange. Like, why wasn't he on this case? It's super confusing, but he was number 6, because can't be him. Okay, the paperwork just came out saying Lil...
Okay, so I hear what Ross is saying. I hear everything he's saying, and I comprehend and digest the information. Is this enough proof to put those kind of allegations? Because you know what you're doing when you're hitting and saying, oh, well, why didn't he get roped up with the rest of them? He was there. AAB Hella Bands passed away, like Ross said, and I said, AAB Hella Bands passed away, and Bezu just passed away recently. He's the only person that could be co-conspirator 6, but we don't know anything for certain. So jumping the gun on that is kind of crazy. We're not going to jump the gun on that and try to put that on him. Lawyer for hire. The original Lil Durk indictment was murder for hire. 3 rewrites later, it's racketeering enterprise, while allegations back to 2019 and 2 men accused of supplying them with guns and pulling triggers are suddenly off the case. Here's what
tell you everything about where this case... Little Durk update. We have a whole new indictment. What does the indictment say? Well, let's think about this for a second. 11 weeks before trial, guy locked up for 2 years, and the government basically says, you know what, murder for hire, forget about that case. Let's do a new case, racketeering. These new racketeering charges tell you everything about where this case stands. For 2 years, you've heard that this is a very simple, straightforward, open and shut. We got all the evidence. They killed his friend. He paid people to go kill them. Well, that theory is now being broadly expanded, so that the idea that this is murder for hire, no. The feds say, throw that out. It's murder in aid of racketeering, because OTF actually has a subset of criminals and gangsters, and they're all involved in all these killings. There's a killing where Durk pulled the trigger in 2019. There's a killing where Durk paid for it in 2022. There's another one in 2021. There's group chats where he's on it allegedly and other people, and they're talking about snitches. Ask yourself one question for me, fam. If you had an open and shut murder for hire case for a 2022 murder, why is it that weeks before you're about to go to trial and cook the kid, you're adding racketeering charges and murders in different states from 3 different years and calling this the Banks violent gang enterprise? Look, I get why you're doing it. They're doing it because they need to get all this other evidence in before the jury so that the jury can say, oh yeah, this is a bad guy. Let's cook this guy. And whether any of that evidence has any weight, whether any of that evidence has any truth, here's the truth. The fact that they need it, the fact that they're trying to go get it, tells you that this murder for hire case built on cooperators was not as strong as they were telling you. Now, keep in mind, with respect to the cooperators, the new indictment takes 2 defendants out. OTF Vonnie, Kayvon Grant, and another guy, one of the shooters. So Vonnie, they said, was the guy who bought all the guns and arranged all the travel, and he was the orchestrator of this. Then they got this other guy, Keith Jones. He's one of the shooters. Well, both of those guys are off the indictment, suggesting that they have cooperated, taken pleas, but the new racketeering indictment, bringing in stuff from 2019, 2020, 2021, that suggests that those cooperators' testimony was not going to be enough to cook Little Durk. What's coming up next? Everything. I mean, this is like starting a case from square one. You're going to have possibly motions to dismiss, bond motions, arguments about this music video that they want to use. The very simple point, to the extent that you thought Durk was cooked, doesn't the government abandoning their murder for hire case and replacing it with a murder racketeering case tell you that their original case was really half-baked?
Exactly. Yeah, the original case was weaker than press on nails. So now I feel as though like the original case had to been weak as hell, and now they trying to add all this extra. Like I said, they're using the 2019 incident with King Von and the 2022 incident that they never charged them with. Like he said, they're trying to convince the jury beforehand the kind of character that he is. They're trying to use it to say, hey, he's capable of murder for hire. Look at these other incidents. No, we're not charging him with the 2019 thing and the 2022 thing. But look, it happened. Like, look, they're trying to go after his character to convince the jury. And there was also this what is this? There was also this music video, and it was the song is out. Redman is on a Lil Durk album. Feds show Lil Durk killing a Quando Rondo lookalike in a music video and revealed text saying Durk can't let King Von's death slide in a new indictment. On Thursday, June 4th, the government filed a third suspending indictment in the United States Court for Central District, California, which charges the Chicago rapper with the additional crimes of murder and aid of racketeering and conspiracy to commit stalking. In the 30-page document, the prosecution shares more new evidence, including screenshots from an unreleased music video for a song called Red Man, which allegedly shows Durk shooting and killing a Quando Rondo imposter. In addition, they show text messages where Durk types, "I can't let this slide," in referring to King Von's killing. Durk's legal team has pushed back on the new charges and statements they put out via social media, calling the latest indictment a lipstick on a pig. So basically, I guess this is a steal from the Redman video that never came out. What's this? United States District Court for Central District of California, February 2026. Grand jury, United States, plaintiff, Durk, blah, 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 blam, bam, woody bam. What's this? Feds show Lil Durk killing Quando Rondo lookalike in an unreleased music video. Text Durk saying he won't let it slide. What's this going on? On or before January 21st, 2021, defendant Banks filmed and starred in an unreleased clip of a music video titled Redman, in which defendant Banks is depicted chasing and shooting an actor who looks sustainably similar to TB, and the video as depicted in below screenshots. Defendant Banks first view multiple online posts related to DB's Davon Bennett's death after defendant Banks, who was wearing a mask, fires multiple gunshots directly at TB as Quando Rondo lookalike and executes the victim at short range. The video revealed defendant Banks is both the shooter and getaway driver flees the crime scene. So basically, in this Redman video, it's a Little Durk looking at pictures of King Von's death and then chasing down Quando Rondo, which we know events that didn't happen in real life. On November 7, 2020, the day after an associate of TB shot and killed DB, TB is going to be a Quando Rondo, DB, Davon Benez, King Von. Defendant Banks texted co-conspirator, "I can't let this slide. I ain't letting shit slide. DB dying, turning me into a different animal." Hey man, Lil Durk's attorney released a statement after new charges are filed against the rapper. 2 months before the trial, the government adds new charges to a case they've spent nearly 2 years trying to hold together. Durk Banks has demanded a trial, every turn, fairness matters, due process matters, statements, Durk statements. This indictment is lipstick on a pig. For nearly 2 years now, federal prosecutors have desperately tried to fend off challenges to a very weak case. Now, just 2 months before a trial that Durk Banks has demanded at every turn, they pulled this pathetic pivot, recycling old accusations into a scrambling prosecution's backup plan. Alleged racketeering as many unrelated false claims as possible. This is not a sign of strength, it's an acknowledgement of weakness. The fact remains, Durk Banks is innocent, no matter how many indictments they want to throw at him. And I'm not gonna lie, like the feds, for having such a high conviction rate, they haven't really done anything that okay, this is all this recycled information. What's this? Yeah, they haven't really done anything. Was it? They haven't done anything that convince you that Lil Durk is actually guilty of any of this stuff. It's really just a bunch of accusations piled on top of each other, and then they're going to use the accusations to say, look, well, we can accuse him of doing this, and we can feel as though he did it because of these accusations over here. So what's this? Well, we think he did this. We can't prove it, but we think he did it. And we're going to use these other situations where we think he did it and can't prove it as the evidence to try to convince you that he did it. So it's really not, okay, we're going to take a case to trial and we're going to lay out this bulletproof evidence to prove that he did everything we're accusing him of. It's, we're going to try to make you believe that he's capable of doing these things instead of actually trying to convince you that he's done it. All these cases are weak. The whole case is weak. Throw all this shit away. I say Durk come home unbiasedly. It sounds like Smirk is coming home. Clear as day, they ain't got a case. Sound like Smirk coming home. Hey man, free Smirk. Can't wait to see him, man. Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff is gonna be down below in the bio. Low key CGB on Instagram. Low key CGB on Twitch. And I am out. Free Durk.